Hi everyone. So today we're going to be learning about an artist by the name of Georgia O'Keeffe. And Georgia O'Keeffe is one of my favorites. She is an artist who zooms in on flowers and only shows a part of it. And I'm going to show you in a moment a couple of her artworks and just talk you through about some of the techniques that she uses. This week's project is going to come in two parts. So the first part will be how to draw your project inspired by Georgia O'Keeffe. And the second part, which will be due the following week, is going to be how to color in that project. All right, so the first thing that you're going to need is a pencil, a piece of paper, an eraser. So those three things. And you're also going to need to pick an image of something that you want to draw. So Georgia O'Keeffe liked to draw flowers, but for this project, I'm allowing you to pick something that you find interesting, as long as it's school appropriate. So if you want to take one of the images that I've posted on the Google Classroom, I've posted a bunch of different images. You can pull from that. If you have an image from a magazine or something that you like, go ahead, or you could pick a real life object. Okay, so for example, if I wanted to use a real life object, I could maybe use an apple, and maybe I hold it this way so it's interesting, and I would zoom in. Maybe I use my favorite Lucky Charms box. You could really pick anything that's around your homes or print out a photo of something that you like if you want to do a car and it's not nice out and you can't sit outside and look at a car, you might want to print an image of one. All right, so go ahead, get that stuff ready, and then we're going to come on back. We'll learn a little bit about Georgia O'Keeffe, look at some of her artwork, and then I'll show you how to get started on your artwork.
All right, everyone, so we're going to be learning about Georgia O'Keeffe, and she was a female artist that was around in the 1920s, 30s, and she was interesting because back then there was not a lot of female artists, and she did something different than other artists at the time were doing, and she drew flowers, but she didn't just draw regular flowers. She liked to zoom in on her artwork. So if you look on the sides here, this is a cropped image of some of her artwork. So she used beautiful colors. And we're going to look at one of her artworks on the next page. All right, so this is Georgia O'Keeffe's Jimsonweed white flower, #1, which means it's the first one that she did of this drawing. And she did this in 1932. And as you can see, she has this flower taking up almost the entire paper. And the leaves that are connected to it actually go off the edge, and she crops it off. So you're not seeing the whole plant here. You're only seeing a portion of it. And you can see she blends her colors beautifully, and everything is very smooth and calming. Let's look at another one of her artworks. This is actually one of my favorites because I love irises and I really love the colors she used in this one. But you can see, compared from the last one to this one, she comes in and she's actually cropping and zooming in even more to this flower. So you can see she cut off some of the petals and you only see the main part of the flower on this one. And this is the lavender iris, and she created this one in 1952. And you can see here again, she's blending her colors beautifully, and it's really, she thought about the way that she was going, what part of the flower she was going to draw. All right, let's look at one more. So we went from one where the whole thing took up, the flower took up the whole page, to one where the main portion is in the middle. And she cut off a little bit of the flower, and this one she's going to zoom in way into the center of the flower. And on this one you could see she's all the way in the center of the flower where the pollen is, the center, and you only see a couple of petals and part of a leaf. So she didn't even draw the full leaf. Whatever went off the paper, she allowed to go off of the canvas or paper or whatever she was using, and just zoomed in. So it gets you to look at things a little differently. If there's one part that you find very interesting, maybe that's the part you're going to draw. So Georgia O'Keeffe is known for her famous flowers, but you will be able to choose whatever you want to draw. So if that is an item, a toy, a piece of fruit, a box of some sort, anything that you want to draw, I'm letting you choose. Georgia O'Keeffe found flowers interesting. I want you to pick something that you find interesting. And we're going to use the same technique of zooming in like she did here in all three of these artworks.
All right, so we just learned a little bit about Georgia O'Keeffe. We got to see a little bit of her artwork and see how she zooms in on flowers, but I said that you could choose anything that you wish to draw. So it could be something you really enjoy, a favorite toy. It could be one of the pictures that I posted on the Google Classroom if you have a printer. Unfortunately, my printer's not working, so what I did is I went into my kitchen and I found this bag of caramels. And I'm like, perfect, that'll work great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to think about what part I want to draw. So is it going to be the most of it and just cut off some of the edge? Am I gonna zoom into this part right here, over here? And it might be hard to figure out where you want to do it. So sometimes if you take a piece of paper or a couple pieces of paper and you kind of block off the parts you want to draw, that might help figure out what part you want to draw. So maybe I want to draw this part, just that top part. So now everything else is blocked off. So I could use this corner that's created with these papers for my corner over here. If there's a picture online, you can just cut it up to where you want it to be. So if you want one section of it, just cut it off and then look at that reference photo. So I'm going to start to draw, and with observational drawing, you really want to imagine that there's a little ant going along the edge of whatever you're drawing, and your eye is going to follow that, and your hand is also going to follow that. With observational drawing, your eyes should go to the object, back to your paper. Draw a little bit to the object, back to your paper. So I'm going to show you what I mean. So I'm going to start over here, which would be this corner. I did a little piece. I'm drawing, I'm looking. A little dent here, drawing. I'm looking, and it's not perfectly straight because it comes down. All right, so I went drew, look, drew, look, drew, look. So this is the shape of what I'm looking at from my angle. And then I'm gonna come in and start to draw in some of those details, and I'm still coming in, looking. And like I said, this is a wrinkly bag, so there's gonna be some wrinkles and it's not gonna be perfect, and that's okay. And you're just gonna draw what you see in front of you. And it's a really fun project because I want you to pick something that you really like or enjoy. Obviously, I like candy, so I drew candy. And you're gonna just start to draw what you see. And if it starts to end up too big, that's why we have an eraser. You're allowed to make mistakes. Just try your best. This is practicing observational drawing, and I'm giving you 2 full weeks to work on this. So this week, I want you to focus and get your drawing done all in pencil. Post a photo of it so I can see that you did the work. And then I'm going to, next week, show you how to color it in and using some blending techniques. So I'm gonna go ahead, speed this up, show you how I'm doing observational drawing, and then I'll show you in the end what it's supposed to look like. All right, so this is my sketch of my caramels. I think it looks pretty good. Just try your best. We're just practicing observational drawing and zooming in on a part of an object. So whether you choose a photo from online, you choose one of the photos I posted, or a real life object, just pick the part you want to zoom in and you're gonna draw that. So you can see how I did mine, zoomed in to the one corner, just like I blocked it off on the side. All right, you have a whole week to just do pencil drawing. Try and take your time, make it look as great as you can. Like I said, it might not look perfect because this is our first time doing observational drawing. So I want you to really just focus on looking at the object or the picture and then drawing it. Looking and then drawing. When you're done, just take a photo so I can see your progress. And next week, we're gonna color it in and it's gonna look awesome.